I'll find it.
This is Jeopardy!
Jerk. Hey, folks. Hi, Wealthy Aardvark. Thanks for popping into the chat just to say hi. This is Jerkpardy, the stream that is a game show, kind of, where I read Jeopardy questions from the J Archive. And we all enjoy trivia and knowledge and a general sharing of the beauty that is trivia. You know, just knowing things to no purpose. Jeopardy, of course, the last great meritocracy of any worth in the modern world. Nowhere else is pure talent as well rewarded. Sure, you could say sports. For the troglodytes, perhaps, a word most troglodytes wouldn't even know, I reckon. Just waiting for people to come on into the chat. Because, hi, Josiah, because there's really nothing sadder than reading Jeopardy questions to... Is it sadder to read Jeopardy questions to no one or someone? This is a tricky question. This is a... Normally I read Jeopardy questions to my wife because we reach the limits of my ability to be a social human being fairly quickly in this house because of my problems. And at which point I say, can we do Jeopardy instead of being human people with feelings? And she's often kind enough to accommodate me. What if that someone enjoys your company? Hasn't come up so far. If it does, I'll let people know. So, for now, of course, we will simply enjoy the beautiful sounds of the Jeopardy soundboard. As I just... Oh, it's too early to play wonky Jeopardy, so let's just go ahead and... get that think music going. Just kind of relax with the think music. Love the think music. I'm gonna send out a blue sky telling people that we are live. I got this stream started roughly on time tonight. Hi, Neil. Gotta exercise a few demons in my root cellar. Is that like having a bustle in your hedgerow? Now, Neil, you know you misspelled exorcise unless you're putting your demons through calisthenics. Oh. Ha, 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 ha. We are now live and enjoying beautiful Jeopardy music and banter over at Twitch. Gotta spell it right. .tv/plumberdoc. I was reading an article today about what they get up to over on Kick. The more laxly moderated streaming platform, Kick. And I gotta tell you, it got me thinking that maybe there are worse things in this world than reading Jeopardy questions to people. Because they were bullying people to death. They bullied a man to death. Which, hi Rizana, Jeopardy is back. Jerkpardy is back. It does come back from time to time, usually, when John is busy hanging out with real people. And I don't see anything I really want to fuck around with in the Fuser customs sheet. Yeah, y'all see this? Y'all see this? The Kick streamer. It's they had basically a professional bullying stream, and then they went to sleep mid bullying, and then one of the bullying people didn't wake up. I found out that Joe Rogan is apparently supposed to be a comedian podcast, and that confused me a lot. I mean, Joe Rogan was a stand-up comedian, well known. Now he's Joe Rogan. But most of the people on an episode of Joe Rogan are stand-up comics. It's just also they will have on, people who think that vaccines are made out of baby meat or whatever. Or I don't know, that the mercury in your fish is bad for you or something. I don't know what Joe Rogan people believe, and I don't really know how mercury works. Caleb's told Neil about it all week. I assume, Neil, that might be a child of yours, but it's more fun if it's the protagonist of Blood. The protagonist of Blood told me about this cool thing that was happening on the internet. And by cool, I mean some streamers bullied a man to death. Which seems, on the whole of it, a shame. Although they were making a lot more money than I do with this stream, which is where I make, I don't know, whatever people kick into the Ko-Fi, and then I remember to take half and give the rest to John. Joe Rogan, the lead singer of Fear Factory. Yes, that's right. Tears for Fear Factory. Everybody wants to Rogan the world. People who think that Ancient Aliens are real. I never actually watched Ancient Aliens, but I did get some exposure to it lately. Because it doesn't stop them making dicks. Yeah. The Ancient Aliens guy was in a couple of episodes of Resident Alien, a show that charmed me. And which at some point I'll watch the last season of. That's one of those shows where the first 2 seasons are 15 episodes each, and then they fuck with you by making the third season 8 episodes, and you're like, oh, I thought I had more. I thought there was more at work here, but you've tricked me, television. Rizana asks, on the scale of alive to dead, how much will I be bullied for wrong answers? Conscious? Yeah, you'll maintain consciousness. Yeah. Apologies for when I inevitably have to turn on my air conditioner. It was 100 in Portland today, which is warm. That's 100 Fahrenheit. Please remember Fahrenheit. That's a trivia word. We're going to give it about another minute, and then we're going to start the game. I'll tell you right now, I went old school with this one. This is a Season 1 episode of Jeopardy that I have loaded up. 100 Freedom Units. This is, in fact, the episode that aired on my first birthday in 1985. So, some of this... I have not, vetted these questions. Oh, I forgot. The other thing I was going to do tonight, and other people can do this too. I want to track my Coriat tonight. If you are not familiar with the Coriat score, named for a Jeopardy contestant, it is kind of the unofficial way to determine your score, how you'd actually do on the show. So there's a thing called J-Scorer that you can use to basically track whether you get questions right, wrong, or pass on them. You get penalized for getting wrong questions, get the money for getting right questions, and if you pass. One of the things it's training you to do is to not... You'll notice I usually don't buzz in if I'm not pretty sure on the answer, and that's because that's how Coriat score works. So, I will be tracking my Coriat score. Again, J-Scorer has a little interface that lets you do that. I am going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to turn on my air conditioner, and everyone will be able to hear it, and no one will be able to complain, because I warned you about it in advance. And again, it was 100 Freedom Units in Portland, Oregon today, where I live. Don't come find me. All right, let's get that soundboard ready to go. I just got to find the board fill. There's the board fill. All right, categories to start us out in Jerkpardy. In this episode from 4/18/1985. Lakes and Rivers. Radio. Potent Potables. 5-letter words. Country music. And etiquette. As I am the host, I guess, and powerful, I will go ahead and Pick first, we are going to do the radio category. Reminder, if you haven't done a Jerkpardy stream before, we go all the way down the category from the top to the bottom, the way Jeopardy categories are supposed to go, and I get sad if we don't. All right, so radio for 200. Three-letter word, which is the general topic of Dr. Ruth Westheimer's radio call-in show. All right, this has started out very 1980s. Excellent. Josiah's in there very quickly. That's right. In chat, go ahead and just pop the answer when you think you know it. Josiah is correct. We're talking about sex, baby. We're talking about you and me. Matt did a Dr. Ruth imitation while responding and calling for the next clue. Matt, you seemed fun. All right, and in my Coriat thing, I'm going to mark down that I got that one right. All right, for 400. Comic strip heroine whose radio theme began, "Who's that little chatterbox?" I'm drinking coffee because it's nighttime, but it's half strength of my morning cup. That's how I keep my heart from exploding. Comic strip heroine whose radio theme began, "Who's that little chatterbox?" Josiah has not only said Kathy incorrectly, but misspelled her name. Whereas I believe Rosanna is correct that is Little Orphan Annie. That is correct. Boy, Matt seems like a real... Whew. Matt singing, who can it be? It's Little Orphan Annie. Alex, you realize that maybe because you're singing we may have to pay a royalty. Matt said no. Alex, will take it out of your winnings. Oh, boy. It's not Nancy, Neil. It's Little Orphan Annie. Okay. And for 600. Los Angeles DJ who took over the hosting job this season on TV's Solid Gold. Okay. I'm just going to tell you right now that this is a pass from me. I do not know who took over Solid Gold in 1985. So that's a pass. If I was guessing, like, Shadow Stevens? Josiah's guessing Philip Branderburg from the Branderburg Group. Shady fellows. All right, we're going to find out. Oh, it's Rick Dees. Matt rang in and said, who is drawing a blank? I have gotten sick of Matt faster than I've ever gotten sick of a human being before. And that is a significant record. Yeah, Rick Dees. I've heard of Rick Dees. Stuck around for a long time. Rick. A couple people in chat are saying Rick Dees nuts. Boy. Now, did you do that on purpose, or do you all have problems? Okay, so I'm going to mark the next one down as a not read. And now for 1,000. Name under which Barry Hansen doctors up popular weird song radio show. Well, this is a very easy $1,000. This is the easiest $1,000 I've ever picked up. Neil in there fast with the correct answer. Dr. Demento. Matt, good for you, Matt, for not fucking having to make it the Matt show. All right. Neil, go ahead and give me the next category. We still got lakes and rivers, potent potables, 5-letter words, country music, or etiquette. Josiah said, who are the spin doctors? Josiah, that makes you Little Mr. Can Be Wrong. Potent potals for 200. A classic Jeopardy category. One of the most classic Jeopardy categories of all time, and one I'm not good at. The most common of these used today is Angostura. This one I do know. Little Miss can't be wrong. Neil is in there fast with bitters. That's correct. Mike said, what is Scotch? Yes, the Angostura region of Scotland. Rizana in there right after. Josiah said, what is Letty? Okay. This peach-flavored bourbon is popular on both sides of the Mason-Dixon line? Is this as simple as I assume it is? Yeah, I'll ring in. Neil says schnapps. No, Southern Comfort. All right, we're all saying peach schnapps. I gotta mark that one wrong. Southern Comfort is peach flavored? I have never actually drunk Southern Comfort, and was not. I hate peach flavored things, so one fewer reason to drink Southern Comfort, along with my vague disdain for the South and my intense disdain for comfort as a concept. For 600, it's the Daily Double. Oh, why am I doing it with my mouth? Why am I doing it with my mouth? I don't got to do it with my mouth. I do it with my mouth at home. When the Daily Double happens, I turn to Olivia and go, it's a little bit Phil Collins, admittedly, but right now I can just do. Oh, soundboard loading slow tonight. Come on, soundboard. You can do it. Fuck yeah. Yeah, that's the sound. I have the soundboard. Shut up. Everyone's mean to me and sucks. Ooh. Liquor that this song is about. Boy, Nick's. Oh, we can click it. Jose Cuervo, you were a friend of mine. I like to drink you with a little salt and lime. Did I kiss all the cowboys? Did I shoot out the lights? Did I dance on the bar? Did I start a fight? That is. Oh. Well, it showed the thing and then didn't. Yeah, it's tequila. Good job, Neil. Hear me out, Jose Cuervo. It didn't play the song and it displayed the file not found. So, whoops. All right. I had a little thing up to mark this, but just a reminder to everybody that this overlay comes from my boy Nick Pancakes, Nick Glauber. Makes J-Archive really, really easy to stream. It is amazing. Nick, you are a hero to the people. All right, for 800. European country that produces the most wine. I mean, I know what I think it is. I'm not going to ring in on this. Josiah says France. Let's find out. Italy! Triple stumper! Woo! I was also thinking it was France. Rizana gets it right. Rungo! Triple stumper for everybody, which I believe on the soundboard sounds like this. Where are you at? Where are you at? It's really... I mean, there's the wrong answer sound. The soundboard is loading very slowly tonight. Ooh, that is also a very... Here we go. Dear soundboard, get it together.
Losers. 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 Losers.
That's the sound of us all getting it wrong, except Rizana. Good job, Rizana. Clicking back from the soundboard is harder than it should be. Okay. All right, we're up to 1,000 in Potent Potables. It's done to spiced wine to make it mold. Okay, yeah, I'd bring in on this. Rizana says my delay seems big tonight. All right, Rizana says boiled, Neil says heat. I'm going to say boiled. You heat it. You know what? I'm going to give this to myself. I think you might get away with saying boiled. Steve said you spice the spiced wine. Steve, that's a tautology. Get on out of here. That being said, Neil, I'm going to give you the credit for actually getting it right. So, Neil, you pick our new category. Lakes and rivers, 5-letter words, country music, or a little tip into etiquette. They only did 2 questions in that category. Richard Mold. Is that a Richard Mole joke, Josiah? Are you making... Give it a beard. Richard Mole didn't have a beard. This is complicated. Country music. His 1964 film biography was called Your Cheatin' Heart. Richard Mole did not... I mean, he might have grown a beard later in life, but in Night Court, the thing we all know Richard Mole from, he didn't have a beard. So I can't even... I'm going to say that I do not know the answer to this $200 Jeopardy question. Josiah says Hank Williams. Everybody's saying Hank. Mike getting caught by ringing in a little bit too early there and not being able to come up with the correct answer. You'll get into a rhythm, Mike. Don't worry about it. Fucking hell, Alex. But yes, Hank Williams. I don't know country music. I did not know who did Your Cheatin' Heart. All right, for 400. Carl Perkins, Johnny Cash, and Elvis Presley all got their start with this Memphis Recording Company. It's early Rizana. He hasn't gotten into his... this is his first year... God, this is... I can't remember. This is the first year back. Because this is the modern Jeopardy show. So he hadn't done it before. He's just getting into the groove. God. I'm not going to ring in on this. I feel like I should know it, but I'm not going to ring in on it. The thing about Coryat score is it makes you real nervous. Who is Steel Black People's Culture Studios? Rizana says Sun Records. Let's see which one was right. It was Rizana. Good job, Rizana. Josiah, you went woke, and then you went broke. Ugh. Sorry I said that. Sorry I thought it. For 600. Guitarist who won Cashbox's Best Instrumentalist Award 19 years straight. So this is a country music guitar. Again, I'm not going to ring in. I'm trying not to lose money here. I mean, I have a guess. Oh shit, is it going to be fucking Jerry Reed? Is this a Fuser crossover? Or Glenn Miller? Yeah, that would be the Fuser crossover. Glenn Campbell. No, it was Chester Chet Atkins. Chet Atkins. All right, I'm very happy to put a pass down on that one. Didn't even know what the cash box was. Chet Atkins, yeah. I don't know much about country music, and I know less of it in 1985 than I do now. Mr. Sandman. Yeah, give me some sand. All right, for 800. This former pro ball player is country's top black star. What a... Huh. Is this... I'm not going to ring in, but is this... I have a guess, but it's not worth... Rizana says Charlie Pride. Let's find out. Charlie Pride. Very good, Rizana. You know your country music, and I absolutely do not. All right. Rizana, go ahead and pick a category. We still have etiquette and lakes and rivers. One of those I'll be kind of okay in, and one I will eat total shit in. I am bad at geography and worse at the wet kind. I mean, you still knew a fairly obscure Jeopardy question, so right on, Rizana. Pick your category. That is your prize. Let's give some lakes and... I just hope that they're the lakes and the rivers I'm used to. For 200. Only Great Lake with an outlet to the St. Lawrence River. I'm gonna... I don't fucking know. I don't know the wet stuff. Josiah's got an answer, but I don't know what the answer is. So I'm gonna let other people chime in. Would these streams be better with actual people on them? I don't know. Not just chatters. I don't think so. I think the just hanging out with chat is what's fun about it. Let's find out. People are saying Lake Ontario. Lake Ontario is correct. Good job. Another pass from me. They did not do the next two. I have to mark this down in my J scorer. No fair. Well, fucking Neil, I'm a Hoosier. And I didn't know it. God damn it. I don't know the wet ones. 800. World leader whose summer home is at Castel Gandolfo on Lake Albano. Captain Lou Albano? I wouldn't call him a world leader. He's important. But, God. I'm not ringing in. Is this Berlusconi? Would he have been in power in 85? Who is the... Does the Pope have a summer home? Razana says the Pope. In 1985, wouldn't the Pope's summer home still be in Poland? Let's find out. Fuck, it was Pope John Paul. Razana, you're killing it tonight. At this time, John Paul II. Okay. And for 1,000. Continent whose major river system is the Murray. Razana Catholic. Okay. I mean, there's only one it can be. There's only one it can be. So I would ring in on this. Am I about to lose a fucking $1,000? Josiah, I'm also saying... Oh, Antarctica. Oh, Antarctica is such a good answer. It was Australia, though. Okay, so I did get that right. I did ring in on that and get that right. Okay. Whew. Josiah, the board is yours, but unfortunately, you have been robbed of choice by the... Oh, wait, no. 5-letter words or etiquette? I totally forgot about 5-letter words. Rizana, I owe you a one extra category pick. Yeah, Rizana, the Murray River is a land down under. Yeah, that's also where I was, Josiah. Like, it either had to be Antarctica or Australia, because those are the only ones that the English or Scottish would have had a decent shot at naming. Okay, etiquette for 200. This etiquette expert is really Judith Martin. There are very few Murrays in Asia, excepting the small time period during which Lost in Translation takes place. Meanwhile, I don't... Is this... Razana says Miss Manners. That's good, yeah. Mike guessed Ann Landers, and I'll be honest. Hi, CDog23425. We're playing Jeopardy. I will admit that for a second I also thought Ann Landers, but it would be wild if your name was already Judith Martin, and you were like, no way, Ann Landers. That's the name for me. That's a wild lateral pseudonym move. All right, I got to mark down the next several as did not reads. They were not doing amazing on Jeopardy in 1985. Probably too busy thinking about my first birthday. All right, for etiquette for 1,000. In the U.S., an invitation to dinner here is akin to a command, and other plans should be canceled. I mean, the question here basically is, is it the vague thing? Or is it like the overall thing? Or is there a more specific thing? I think I'm nervous enough about it to not risk $1,000. Neil suggests that it might be well-known, fun to say restaurant Buca de Beppo. No, it's just the fucking White House. So I missed $1,000 because I was like, is there a specific dining room in the White House? But like, all right. That rolls back to Rizana, but again, no choices. 5-letter words. Here we go. Yeah, Sea-Dog, I will read the questions. You are welcome to just call them out in chat. First person who gets it right, I'll go, good job. There's no prizes, except you get to pick. After the question, after I finished reading the question. Yes, thank you. Josiah, that is correct. Once I have finished reading the question, you can type it in. The space on the paper to be filled in. Literally, the only prize is if you finish the category, you get to. Margin is 6 letters, Rizana. Neil's got it. Blank. The blank. All right. If you finish the category, you get to pick the next category. Is the only reward. That's it. I do like being able to see what order they do stuff in. They were like lakes and rivers, and like, I don't know. And then they're like, no, wait, there's a vocabulary category. This is also early enough in Jeopardy strategy that they are working their way down the categories instead of hunting around in the bottom. It's nice to see. For 400, the courage to pull out a feather. Oh, that's cute. I get what the pun is there. Remember, this is 5-letter words. Rizana in there fast with pluck. Ooh, triple stumper, but Rizana got it. Let's go ahead and celebrate with a quick trip to the soundboard. What do we want? What do we want? Where's a new low? Oh, here we go. Hold on. Well, that was
Sean Connery is in first place with 0.
You rue the day you crossed me, Trebek.
Fantastic.
Fun. Too long for what I'm doing. Lock and pluck. All right. That was for 400. Did I mark that down on my core yet? I did. Big hat. It's funny. All right. Final question of the category for 600. You do it to grapes, doorbells, and ducks. Fuck, Rizana, that's really fast. Press. That's good. Press ducks? What is... I'm not familiar with that usage. What is pressing ducks? Alright, go ahead and mark that was a pass for me, since Rizana's got it so damn fast. Press ducks... Assume you press ducks during taxidermy? Seems cruel. Alright, yeah, my current Koryat sucks shit. But that's life. Okay. Clicking over to round 2. Alright. We are going to move over to Double Jeopardy. Reminder that our contestants are Steve Grubman, a pharmacist from North Hollywood, California. Mike Gales, a technical manager from Liverpool, New York. And Matthew Hubbard, a computer game designer from Palo Alto, California. Hold on, let's find out what Matthew Hubbard made. Matthew Hubbard video games. One moment. Matthew Hubbard. Credited on Moby Games with Submarine Commander? Double Dunk? Oh shit! Matthew Hubbard programmed Defenders of Dynatron City and worked on Balls 3D. Oh man, I've really turned around on Matthew Hubbard. He also made good money for Jeopardy that old. Hell yes, Defenders of Dynatron City. I love it. Alright, sorry, that was extremely distracting to me. I was like, I could certainly look that up. Have I just killed my Koryat score thing, or... Well, I've lost the tab where I was doing it, because I'm a dummy. Yeah, Balls 3D with Guarana. 3D. There it is. Okay, I found my J-score thing. Okay, Rizana, you won. You finished out the last category. It looks like they did a little bit better clearing this one out. So good on them. Double checking that the screen looks good. Screen looks good. So go ahead and give me a category. We have medical history. Oh, hold on. I gotta play the board fill sound. Oh my god. I gotta get a. What if I bought a Steam Deck or a Stream Deck for just these streams that I do once every several months? Come on, load the sound file. It sucks that it's so worth it to do that every time. All right, Rizana, medical history, theater, religion, 1940, famous folks, or last words, religion for 400. Here we go. In Catholicism, the dead make amends here for their sins before entering heaven. Okay? Gonna mark that one down as a correct for me. Ooh, Sea Dog in there fast with purgatory and also didn't spell it Hourgatory like Rizana did. Nice. All right, for 800 in religion. Rastafarians worship this late Ethiopian emperor as God. Have fun spelling this. Glad I don't have to. Throw a lot of L's and S's in there. Neil, that is incorrect. Josiah knows this. Good. That's often considered key in a game of Jeopardy, is to know the answer. Guessing is discouraged through the harsh monetary penalties. I'm going to give people about... You don't know this. I'll give people about 5 more seconds. This is Haile Selassie. Mike tried to say Sally something. Gonna go ahead and... Oh, I already marked that one down. And of course, because... No, it wasn't a triple stumper in the room, so I don't get to play the... Crusader Kings, you failed me. Yeah, is Crusader Kings sending you down to Ethiopia? I don't play a lot of Crusader Kings. It always seems to be pasty European types. Now, I know Haile Selassie because he's in Civilization. And also because he's worshipped as God by Rastafarianisms for reasons I do not personally know. All right, for 1200. They started publishing their Watchtower magazine in 1879, the year they were organized. Yes, I know this. Incorrect, Neil. Is that a joke? L. Ron Hubbard wasn't born until like 1930. Rizana is correct. Jehovah's Witness. Very good. And for 1600. Daughter of this congressman murdered by Jonestown cult is member of Rajneesh cult in Oregon. What a wild Jeopardy question. Gonna go ahead and pass on this one. Don't know. Daughter of this congressman murdered by Jonestown's cult is also in a cult. That's fun. Are the Rajneesh people, is that the ones that the Wild Wild Country is about? I never watched that. All right. Nobody's chiming in except Josiah saying Dan Quayle, who is, as far as I know, still very much alive. Oh, okay. Rizana, that was the question. They were asking for the congressperson, so I'll give you credit for that. The question was slightly hard to parse, I will acknowledge, but they were asking for the congressperson. So Rizana, you've got control of the board. Do you want medical history? Theater! 1940, famous folks, or last words? I hope one of the famous folks is also Ethiopian Emperor Haile Selassie. They usually avoid that in Jeopardy, but ooh, wouldn't it be fun? Josiah's locked in. Medical history for 400. You don't get to choose how much, but that is where I'll start. So you win this round, my Rizana. French medical pioneer who developed the rabies vaccine. I'm not going to ring in on that, although I have a guess. Neil, sadly, Pliny the Elder is always wrong. That's a reference to Sawbones, a marital tour of misguided medicine. Rizana says Pierre Vaccine. I doubt it. I don't think Fleming was French. Let's find out. It was Pasteur, which is who I assumed it was, but didn't want to ring in. It was Pasteur. Known as consumption in the 19th century, this disease, not a six-gun, killed Doc Holliday. Shout out to this disease in Weapons. Weapons, still in theaters. Rizana is in there quick with tuberculosis. There are no points for spelling, but they did spell it correctly. Josiah tries to get in half as fast with tuber. That's too bad. Is consumption / tuberculosis mentioned in Weapons? It is. It's one of the early signs that there's something really fucked up about one of the characters. All right, for 1,200. Double feature of Weapons and Naked Gun. Yeah, I need to see Naked Gun. It's going to be out of theaters pretty soon. So, medical history. It might actually be out of theaters this weekend, but I'll find out. 1,200. The first surgical anesthetic. It's been in use since 1842. I believe you, Neil. It looks really fun. I mean, I am going to ring it on. Oh, shit. All right, I got to mark that one wrong because I said I was going to say morphine, but you're absolutely right. Of course, it's ether. So that's a wrong for me. Neil getting that in fast. Everybody's going in, what's magic? What's the magic system called in Xenogears? That's right, ether. That's right. This is the only Twitch.tv Jeopardy stream where I also sometimes mention things from Xenogears. Faye. Gestalt? God, I haven't played Xenogears in the fighting game for 1,600 in medical history. Empowered by a 1938 act of Congress, this agency guards against snake oil cures and excess rat hairs in food. Okay. I mean, I know what this is. Josiah in there very fast with the FDA, yes. And for 2,000 in medical history. Discovered in 1957, this antiviral protein is useful in treating some cancers. Ooh. Antiviral protein. I'm going to have to pass. I should know this, I feel like. Josiah suggests snake venom. Josiah, be sure to take off from your Coriat score from that. Zap Rousdower, Rizana suggests. Let's find out. Interferon. Okay, yeah, no, that tracks. Good job, Matt. I hope that showed up in Defenders of Dinotron City. So Matt still, I think, had Defenders of Dinotron City in front of him when he was on this app. That's amazing. What a wonderful thing to think about. Let's just go ahead and just get...
Losers.
Yeah, stumped the whole room. Okay, Neil, you had control of the board because we all shit the bed on Interferon. Go ahead, pick from theater. Sorry, theater. 1940, famous folks or last words. It's wild that this takes longer than an actual episode of Jeopardy, but I guess they're not waiting for chat to ring in. Famous folks for 400. This is where our intrepid folks started. Vietnam Commander William Westmoreland sued CBS over remarks made on this show. I mean, yeah, I'll ring in. This definitely feels like something I might have known were I a conscious human being in 1985. Ooh, Sea Dog says meet the press. That's a sharp answer. Nobody else is ringing in. I was right. It was 60 minutes. Okay. 60-minute lawsuit. Same as it ever was. All right. Famous folk for 800. After starring with Gene Wilder in Woman in Red, she married him. Yeah, I mean... Right? Yeah, I'm ringing in. Josiah says Katharine Hepburn. Rosanna says Kelly LeBrock. I mean, I'm ringing in, so who is Gilda Radner? Yeah, Gilda Radner. Mike said Gildna Radner. Yeah. Just name me the only actress you can remember, which is Kelly LeBrock. That tracks, Rosanna. I mean, one of these questions, if we go long enough, it's possible one of these questions will be Kelly LeBrock. I don't think it's probably very likely because Kelly LeBrock's not super famous, but, you know, it's an ethos, which is, of course, what the magic system in Xenogears is called. For 1200 in famous folks. U.S. Secretary of Transportation who's married to the Senate Majority Leader. Ooh, oh my God. Person who's only seen Kelly LeBrock. This sounds a lot like Kelly LeBrock. This is scandalous. I have no fucking clue. 1985's U.S. Secretary of Transportation. I'm like, Lee Iacocca? I have no idea. This is a pass from me. Eric Prince's sister. Neil, is this like a real answer? Or is this is Two Princes a callback to... Anyway. Oh, Elizabeth Dole. Oh, you could have... Yeah. Could have worked that backwards from the fact that Dole was Senate Majority Leader for a long time. Okay. Well. Oh, well. Bob Dole. All right. For 1600. The banana guy. Yes. The pencil guy. Oh, shit. I gotta get my soundboard, everybody. Everybody keep tight. Everybody hold tight while I get to the soundboard. Everybody be cool. God, it's worth it every single fucking time. I wouldn't do it if it wasn't worth it, but it's worth it every fucking time. The Dole Whip guy, yeah. Can we talk about Dole Whip for a second? Everybody's like, when you go to Disney, you gotta get the Dole Whip. It's just soft serve. You've had pineapple juice before. You could pour it on your own soft serve. It's fine. It's ice cream. It's tasty. If you're getting something like a cold treat at Modern Disney, you go over to Galaxy's Edge. You get that fucking blue milk. You will be sated and satisfied, and it'll taste better than the Dole Whip. I'll tell you that right now. And also, why can't I get the blue Smurf ice cream from Kings Island anymore? I ask you this. Now, there was a novelty soft serve that was actually lived up to the hype. Anyway, I've looked up fake recipes for it. Nobody's exactly sure what it was, and it's hard to figure out, and I don't have an ice cream maker. Let's move on with our lives to the Daily Double and famous people, and I'll stop crying. Paralleling Westmoreland case. Ooh, a sequel question. This Israeli general and former defense minister sued Time. 1985 Israeli general and former defense minister. I have no fucking clue. I don't know. Is that what? I have no clue whatsoever. Rizana makes at least what sounds like an informed shot with Ariel Sharon. Correct. Very good, Rizana. All right. Woo. Josiah was just listening to a episode of something about this very thing and had no fucking clue. So that's exciting. Okay. And famous folks for 2000. Former Baptist preacher and LBJ White House press secretary, now commentator on CBS Evening News. What a boring definition of famous Jeopardy was settling on in 1985. Not one of these people was Lil Nas X, as far as I can tell, unless this is Lil Nas X, which seems unlikely. Former Baptist preacher and LBJ White House press secretary. It's probably not Mickey Rooney, Josiah, but I do appreciate you hitting the buttons. I know that sometimes the keyboard, the clicky-clack, is a little difficult to manage, and just the fact that you even managed to put the... Was it Bill Moyers? It was Bill Moyers. God damn, Rizana. Yeah, you were trying, but Rizana actually got it right on another extremely hard Jeopardy question. Rizana's kicking everybody's ass tonight. Rizana, you still have control of the board. Last words, 1940 or theater. I have no idea why that fact is in my head, Rizana, but I'm excited for you. I appreciate it. I celebrate it. Now give me a damn category. Last words, 1940 or theater. I hurt my throat. Last words. This will be a fun one, I'm sure. Actor Robert Armstrong said of his demise, "'Twas beauty killed the beast." Okay, yeah, that's very easy. So I guess they don't have to be real last words. Josiah in there fast, not waiting to boo anything with King Kong. Correct. Last words for 800. She closed her 50s variety hour with a big mwah to the audience. That's a pass from me, dog. Josiah says Carol Burnett. I don't think the timing on that lines up. She closed her 50s variety hour. It's not. So C-Dog has said Lucy. And Lucy is the only one I can think of, but I'm not ringing in on it. Let's find out. Dinah Shore. It was Dinah Shore. But C-Dog, I appreciate you saying the thing I was thinking, so I didn't have to say it. All right. Last words for 1200. In Shakespeare, Julius Caesar's accusatory adieu, someone's going to get 1,200 American dollars for this. That's amazing. Just think that you could get $1,200 for knowing et tu. Ooh, okay. Ooh, okay. Okay, so I'm seeing some... So I'm going to be the guy who says et tu brute. And we'll see if I lose my $1,200 on that. I do lose my $1,200 on that. Okay, I would have rung in with that and got it wrong. Good job, Rizana. No good job, Neil. 1600, last words. As they both lay dying July 4th, 1826, his last words were, "Jefferson still survives. What a dumb shit. Shoulda guessed." The dumbest man in Braintree that day, huh? Josiah's right. That is John Adams. It's wild that there was a town called Braintree, and one of America's biggest nerds was born there, or lived there. That'd be like if a really good athlete was born in Armball. This British Restoration king's last concern was for his mistress. Let not poor Nellie starve. One of my weird little weaknesses in European history is the British monarchy. I don't know any of them, so I don't know who this is. Okay. So, Josiah, by default, can't be Charles I because the thing that was being restored was the monarchy after his death. I think Rizana has a decent chance of being right with Charles II. Yes, it was Charles II. Good job. But I didn't get it right. I passed on it. But good job, Rizana. You're killing it tonight. Charles III. We stan a down bad king. Neil, I would love to know what that means, but not enough to ask. Rizana, do you want 1940 or the theater? Sorry. Rizana, if you don't want to keep having to pick categories, get less stuff right. 1940 for 400. German saturation bombing of this courageous city was called the Blitz. A little bit of editorializing there from the Jeopardy writers. Courageous, huh? Yeah, right. Yeah, it's London. What a weird question. 1940 for 800. This industry became the first form of U.S. transport to pass a year without a fatality. I'm inclined to say air travel. So planes. Aviation, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and give that to both me and Josiah. I guess 1940 is the U.S. in the war then? I guess it's not, is it? Okay, because I was like, boy, definitely some planes got shot down in some places. All right, and train good, but apparently somebody died on a train. Neil? Train food. Get sick from the train food. Skimble Shakes wouldn't let that happen. Skimble Shakes. Shit, I need a soundboard that just plays the entirety of Skimble Shanks, the railway cat. The cat of the railway train. Oh, yeah, Josiah's right. There were still mustachioed men tying maidens to the tracks. It happens. 1940 for 1200. This Du Maurier story was Hitchcock's U.S. directing debut and 1940's Best Picture. Hey, I know that. Again, this Du Maurier story was Hitchcock's U.S. directing debut and 1940's Best Picture. We have two people saying Vertigo, both incorrectly. I'm sorry, we have one person saying Vertigo incorrectly and one person saying Verigo double wrong incorrectly. Super bad. Sea Dog says birds. Sorry, that is not correct. The Du Maurier story in question is Rebecca. Rebecca. Me and Mike got it. At night, or what is it? At night, sometimes I still dream of Manderley. Is that how the opening line of Rebecca goes? Anyway, we're gonna scroll back to Josiah has control of the board. Would you like theater or theater? I gotta tell you, folks, my Coriat score is looking like real garbage here. Real dog shit. Okay. It's theater for 400. Muslin-covered, wooden-framed set piece, or how Joan Rivers refers to her chest. Ah, boy. Once again, my lack of knowledge of Joan Rivers' famous self-deprecating humor is letting me down. wooden frame bust is a decent answer, but it's not backdrop, because that doesn't make sense with the boob pun. A flat. Josiah in there very late. A flat is correct. Yes, of course it does. Pass for me. For 800. In O'Neill play, a passionate stepmother and stepson found desire there. In a streetcar? No. In the only O'Neill play I know off the top of my head is The Iceman Cometh, and that might not be him. The Modern Oedipus Truly, it's not Streetcar's Tennessee Williams, yes. Not seeing anybody ringing in on this one, and I'm also not ringing in on it because it's hard and I don't know it, is the thing. So we're going to find out together. Neil guesses The Music Man. Yeah. Under the Elms, which of course got a sequel later on as Under the Umbrella Tree. Under the Umbrella Tree. Just going to go ahead and hit this button a couple times.
Losers, 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 losers.
Just luxuriate in it for a moment. All right. In theater for 1200. Brother of the notorious John Wilkes. He played the finest Hamlet of his time. Hey, yay, one I actually know. Woo! 76 losers in the chat parade. Now I'm second guessing what, because they're going to want his first name. I know it. Incorrect. Rizana's got it. Edwin Booth. Correct. Matt said Edmund Wilkes and Steve said John Booth. That's a triple stumper, but Rizana and I got it. Fun historical weird fact. Several years, obviously, before Lincoln's assassination, he was at the train station with his son. I can't remember which one. I think the one that survived. And the kid fell onto the tracks. Who jumped down and saved him but Edwin Booth? Weird historical fact. The more you know. And again, yeah. The other thing you have to remember is that, like, John Wilkes Booth killing the president is like now if, like, James Woods shot the president. Or, yeah, if Brad Pitt saved Chelsea Clinton. Something like that, yeah. I've never seen Brad Pitt's Hamlet, and I made myself sad imagining it. For 1600, the stage is dressed, but the actors aren't in this musical, with sketches by Jules Pfeiffer and John Lennon. Another fun fact, Boston Corbett, the man credited for shooting Booth, self-castrated himself years before to stop women enticing him. That would do it. That would do it. We have 200 motels and hair, neither of which I think is necessarily correct in here, but I'll let people take another second. Jack is also saying hair. It was O Calcutta. It was O Calcutta, which I have very, very vaguely heard of, but not enough. Good to see you, Jack. Nice to come rushing in to get something wrong immediately. I'm in a bully mood tonight. Because, again, I was talking about it earlier, but I heard about those kick streamers who bullied the man to death, and it sounded like they had a pretty lucrative thing going. John Lennon, you culturally irrelevant hack. Interesting take. 2000. Learn the lines and don't bump into the furniture, advised this British author of Blithe Spirit. Oh, at some point, I think I might have known this, but I sure don't now. Learn the lines and don't bump into the furniture, advised this British author of Blithe Spirit. I feel like I've heard of that book. Josiah suggests Williams Wordsworth was writing acting things. Jack and Rizana both saying Noel Coward. Jack, you got it. Okay. Jack, totally redeemed. Okay, that brings us to the end of this game. My Koryat score, for those curious, is 13,800, which is dog shit. Just absolute dog shit. I will never be on the show. My dreams of a happy future are completely dashed. Jack, I don't know if you were watching earlier. One of the contestants in this one, he programmed Defenders of Dynatron City. How fucking weird is that? Anyway, Final Jeopardy is the automobile. The automobile. All right. So, reminder. I'm going to pop up the question. And then I'm going to play the song. When the song ends, you may put in your answer. Okay? All right. So I'm gonna pop it up. I'm gonna read it. Then I'm gonna play the song, and you all have time to think. In 1972, it surpassed the Model T to become largest single car model ever sold. No, that one's too hype. That one's too hype. No, don't think right now. Don't think right now. Your brain will... There we go. This is from 1985, by the way. I have absolutely no fucking clue. Also looks like Mike did not make it to 3. We have several people saying the Volkswagen Beetle. Let's find out. What is the Volkswagen Beetle? Rizana and Jack, you got it first. But shout out to Jack, Rizana, and Neil for all getting the VW Beetle correct. Good job. Matt guessed the Mustang. Matt won by $150. Damn, Matt. Good job at Jeopardy. Again, my final Koryat score, 13,800. Just garbage. I'm gonna hit the new game because we're gonna do another game. Vitamix and Speed Queen. Mike in the hole. All right. If anyone else also wants to do their Koryat score, go to JScorer and play along. All right, we're just gonna do the next game. We're moving off of my beautiful birthday, my first birthday. Oh, Steve won a vitamin bread. Oh hell yeah! Speed Queen washer and dryer and a Vitamix bread maker. Mike won. For a second, I thought it was gonna be It said Jules Jurgensen and his watches, which would be a wild. Jack coming out hard against Mike's. Perhaps had a bad time with a hard lemonade. Who can say? Yeah, the actual Koryat scores... I mean, the Koryat scores here were also very bad. People did not have good ring-in discipline in the first season of Jeopardy is what I'm seeing. My Koryat was better than all of theirs, but they weren't ringing in. I didn't have to fight for the buzzer. Anyway, we're just going to go right on to the next game, Friday, April 19th. Oh, no, Thursday, May 2nd. Which is missing third place prize. I don't know what that means. Okay, and it is... Oh, this jumped to... No. Are we missing like a fuck ton of... Okay, hold on. Hold on. Everybody, be cool. Because we're still hanging out in Season 1. We could do the pilots. How exciting would that be? Okay, 1985. There we go. This is Griffin McElroy's birthday. How's that for exciting? Our contestants are Rick Sinclair, an attorney from Los Angeles, California. Bruce Rodewalt, a musician from Los Angeles, California. And again, Matthew Hubbard, a computer game designer from Palo Alto, California. How do I know that? Because it's the day after mine, Neil. Also, one time I was out hanging out with him on our shared birthdays. Matthew Hubbard, also the creator of, let's just check it. No, I closed it. Alas, we'll never know. Defenders of Dynatron City 2. All right. Let's get that board fill sound going, everybody. You know I love my board fill. You know I love my board fill sound. Gotta get that board fill. Oh, baby. I don't want to claim some deep connection with Griffin McElroy. He and I moved briefly in the same social circle in Chicago many years ago. Anyway, okay. Our categories are, and Jack, you will be picking categories because you were the first one to get in there with Beetle. 1933, wordplay, Canada, movie trivia, Old Testament, and that most hated of GoldenEye character choices, Odd Jobs. Jack goes straight for movie trivia, eating their dessert first. Looks like they also did that in the room, though, so hard to fold. Making sure that yeah, man, this extension that Nick made is so good. Reminder, this extension by Nick Pancakes, allowing me to easily display the whole board without doing really stupid scrunchy stuff with my screen. No one realizes Odd Job puts you at headshot level. Yeah, but if you're playing slappers, what the fuck, you know? Movie trivia for 200. To darken sky for crucifixion in Barabbas, scene was filmed during this astronomical event. That's a wild fucking thing to do with a movie. That's cool as hell. Yeah, Jack, it has to be a solar eclipse. That kicks ass to be like, I don't want to make the sky dark for my movie. Let's wait for the sky to do it itself. We're going to get one shot at this fucking crucifixion. That's genuinely fairly cool. I'm not familiar with Barabbas as a movie, although I can probably guess at least parts of the plot. Walt Disney retired him from movies in 1953, saying he was too sweet-tempered for modern tastes. I mean, there's only one. I mean, this is basically a Gary Butterfield rant right there. Jack's in there fast with Mickey. It's Mickey! Josiah, no, there's nothing sweet in Goofy's soul. He's a cruel little bastard. Big bastard, sorry. Movie trivia for 600. Not surprisingly, this author's works have been filmed more than any other. God? No, okay. I mean, it's got it. Okay. Not surprisingly means this can only be one person. Josiah says Matt Damon. Actually, Matt Damon has only written a couple of his own screenplays. Neil in there with Shakespeare. Raisana with Stephen King. That he might have overtaken William Shakespeare by now, but in '85, it's still Shakespeare. That might genuinely have changed, which is extremely funny to think about. For 800. To fit the song's needs in Oklahoma, special corn twice as high as this was grown. Yeah, Jack has gone with Elephant's Eye. I'm not going to ring in on this one. It is an Elephant's Eye. What do they mean it was specially... Songs, you know, special corn... What do they mean was... They grew special corn? Gonna have to look that one up, because that's a wild factoid. And for 1,000. So that Charlie Chaplin could eat his boot during the gold rush, it was made of this. I have no fucking clue what they made the edible shoe out of. Neil has made, we've got some good attempts here. It was licorice, Jack. Very good. The rest of you fell into Rick's trap. Jack, you've got control of the board. Do you want 1933, Wordplay, Canada, Old Testament, or Odd Jobs? I mean, licorice is delicious, Raizana. I wouldn't want to walk around on it. Oh, God, black licorice. Jack, once again, following the same route charted. Neil, I will mod you if you talk shit about black licorice in my chat. I am not going to do well in this category. Canada's basic money unit. I mean, yeah, Jack, it's the dollar. I mean, the Canadian dollar, but they probably don't call it that. People are saying loony in chat. No, that's actually not the basic unit. That's slang, y'all. All right, for 400. Every July, about 1 million tourists stampede this Alberta city. I have no idea what this one is going to be. Every July, about 1 million tourists stampede. Oh, Jack says Calgary. That did seem right. Yeah. Okay. Checking here. Kicking ass, taking names. All right, for 600. The only walled city in North America. It's been called the Mecca of French Canadians. Jack says Montreal. Several people are saying Quebec, which is not a city. Or now we're saying Quebec City. It is Quebec City. I guess I give that to Neil. I did not ring in on that, so I do not get penalized. But, all right. Quebec City. I got to look up what Quebec City looks like, everybody. I mean, they just said Quebec. They didn't say Quebec City. Damn, Quebec City looks pretty cool, everybody. People less so? Yeah. Seems like maybe that might be the case. Jack stayed at the Chateau Frontenac. It was amazing. All right, and Canada for 800. By dropping the word shining from last line of the song America, you get this. Canada's national motto. Okay. That seems fairly easy. Yeah. Jack says from sea to sea. Yeah. They just told you how to do it. They just gave you the instructions. That's the $800 clue. Yeah. Sometimes they hear me out. This is real Canadian. This is clearly Canadian, is what I would say. For 1,000, meaning eaters of raw meat, these original Canadians today occupy only about 2% of Canada. I don't know the answer to this. I mean, I have half a guess kicking around in my head, but not one I'm going to risk $1,000 on, so. Raison, I don't think it's Nova Scotians because the meaning of Nova Scotians is fairly easy to derive. Neil, that is where my head is going. Oh, okay. Let's find out. It was Eskimos. Okay, a phrase, name we don't usually use anymore. Good job, Jack. Jack, you once again have control of the board. You're dominating. Multi-kill. Is that the right one? God. 1933. Okay, we want wordplay. Oh. All right. I will, of course, have to do wordplay in the voice of Fancy the Trickster. Word which follows union, black, and flap, and precedes hammer, frost, and rabbit. Should do it in Paul Lind. Hey, you're the boss. Oh, Jack. Jack, you got beat on your own name. I'd be embarrassed. I'm Paul Lind. I don't have a great Paul Lind. Silent anagrams to this, which you hang on a tree on a silent night. Oh, okay. Took me a second. Took me longer than it should have, but I think I still would have managed to get in, maybe. Rizana in there fast. Tinsel, correct. Bruce said nothing. All right, wordplay for 600. Please go back to the original voice. Acrostic that one might see here. Fucking nerds. Jack in there fast with Adams, which is the acrostic in question. Fucking nerds. Oh, shit. It was an acrostic, Josiah. It was an acrostic. I gotta get the sound. Fucking yes. Oh my god, every time it's the best sound in television. The Daily Double. Jack's going true Daily Double. MFers. 3 rhyming prefixes, all meaning half. Jack in there so fucking fast with Demi Semi Hemi, which I did not get. Very good. Signal for commercial break. Razana's truck had a Hemi. All right, and wordplay for 1,000. A letter added to a kidnapped victim's salvation produces this window above a door. I know this one. Good for me. I'm proud of me for knowing the answer to the Jeopardy question. I'm proud of me. Ooh, am I gonna get to hit the button where I get it right and no one else gets it? Everyone else. No, Ransom. Razana got it right. Transom. Razana, what you got for me? 1933, Old Testament, or Odd Jobs? Old Testament. It was too. I'm gonna do this category as a skeleton. Why is there no $1,000 Old Testament? Because the people actually playing the J Archive game did not get to it. It was 2 pillars of the community of Gaza that killed this biblical strongman. That's very punny. Josiah spelled it wrong. Razana spelled it right. Samson is correct. Get it? Because pillars fell on him. They're being punny. He was 600 years old when he became captain of the Bible's love boat. They're being funny on Jeopardy, everybody. They're doing funny ones. Jack says Noah. That's correct. Presumably because the animals were having sex on the boat to get the repopulation efforts going. Whew. I bet that didn't smell too good. His brothers turned green with envy when Jacob gave Joseph this piece of wearing apparel. I'm gonna give this. Let's see if they just want a coat or if they want what Neil said. I'm assuming they want what Neil said. Oh, they want the coat of many colors. I'm still gonna give it to you, Neil, and let you have it. The Technicolor Dream Coat. I think really probably coat of many colors is what they actually wanted, but I'm gonna be nice to me and you and get it. Instead of speaking to the rock to get water, Moses did this, and the Lord barred him from Canaan. Harsh. Fuck. What did he just... Jack says struck it. Yeah, he hit it. Triple stumper. Good job, Jack. I'm gonna put that down as a pass for me. Okay, everyone's saying that struck it, struck the stone, struck it with his staff, struck the rock. Odd jobs for 200. Job. Should I just keep being the skeleton? I haven't been the skeleton for a while. Job that Rosie had in World War II. Jack in there fast with Riveter. A lot of different spellings of Riveter in there. That's exciting. The person who puts the chocolate on the cherry or the wax on the candle. Yes, of course. Okay. I don't think so, Josiah. Nope. I think this is a dipper. Yes, it's the dipper. The wax man. Bee-ba-ba-ba-da-boom. Bee-ba-ba-da-boom. He's the wax man. Before monks discovered photocopiers, they used these people to copy manuscripts. Also a weird question. Phrased weirdly. Kind of a weird joke in there. Rizana in there very quickly with scribes. Odd jobs for 800. Circus performer who bends over backwards for you and into pretzel-like shapes too. This is a fairly easy category. Haha, going to sleep. Good night, Skeleton Crew. Jack, I'm sorry I drove you away with my bad voices. Neil had contortionist. I'm sorry, Jack has taught me. If I do the skeleton voice, people will believe me. So, in Ghostbusters, Weaver told Murray he didn't act like a scientist, but like one of these. Oh, fuck. What is this line? Oh my god, this would have been a lot fucking easier in 1985. You don't act like a scientist. You act like a... Fuck, what is it? It's not used car salesman, is it? Plumber, sex best. No, what is the line? Jack's saying used car salesman. Game show host is what it is. Okay, yep. Oh, that was so close to being the first category I actually ran tonight. Yep, good night, Jack. Thank you for hanging out and for showing everybody how good at trivia you are. Everyone was really excited about how good at trivia you were. All right, all I've got left is 1933. You never saw FDR smoking a cigarette without one of these. I mean, it's not what they're looking for, but blanket on his lap, probably. I mean, it's cigarette holder. Yeah, cigarette holder. Oh, that's too bad. Josiah's having a stroke in chat. Vignette hodler, head ends, okay, she hi his, boulder, fuck, and then Rizana, a holder. That's Rizana's correct there. That's a get for Rizana. Good job, Rizana. Wellness check on Josiah. In Berlin in May, this was done to works of Freud, Einstein, and Thomas Mann, among others. Book club? It was not book club. Yeah, they were burning them. All right, for 600 in 1933. In the U.S., hoarders of this type of coinage were jailed and fined for refusing to surrender them. I don't know. No, this type of coinage, Rizana. So Josiah has said silver dollars. I can't. It's not Sacagawea dollars, Neil. Neil, you knew it wasn't Sacagawea dollars when you wrote that out. When you misspelled her name. Rizana's saying half pennies. It was gold. Gold! I thought it might have been gold, but not enough to ring in. 800? Judge Joseph Davis ruled her Chicago World's Fair fan dancing act legal. Hi, Closeted Commie. We're playing Jeopardy. Who's a famous fan dancer in 1933? Josiah getting in a fun Star Trek V reference with Nichelle Nichols, name misspelled. Who's a famous 1933 fan dancer? I don't know. I'm not ringing in on this one. Yeah, I got your joke, Josiah. I'm on board. Nobody else is also ringing in on this extremely hard question. It was Sally Rand. Yeah, nobody got that one. I bet Jack would have gotten that one, but Jack went to bed. So Jack automatically gets all the questions from here on out wrong. A shame for Jack. All right, we're going for the 1,000. This is the last question in the category, or in the round. Mae West told this British newcomer to come up and see me sometime before she done him wrong. I deadass found you through W Place. Josiah saying, yes, it worked. That's weird. I don't keep track of what my chat does in their extracurricular hours, so I can only assume they put an advertisement on the for the stream somewhere. Maybe in Portland, where I'm from. That's... boy. Well, we're reading Jeopardy questions. I hope you don't mind how stupid it all is. We're going to go for about another half hour, which will get us through this episode from 1985. Would anyone like to engage with the question? Mae West told this British newcomer... You're from Portland, too. Hey, Portland. Told this British newcomer to come up and see me sometime before she done him wrong. I feel like I should know this, but I don't. One making the big ass ace flag. Nice. I myself am not on W Place, but I can imagine what you have done. It is in my mind palace. It looks good. It was Cary Grant. All right, and that's regular Jeopardy. It's double Jeopardy time. Which means I get to... Ooh, they didn't do... Ooh, boy. They did not have a good time on sports back in 1985. I gotta play the board fill sound, everybody. Everybody hang tight while I find the board fill. I think that is my favorite. I think I like that Jeopardy sound more than I like the Daily Double sound. But I do love them both very dearly. All right. Who was our last person to get one right? Nobody. Boy, it's been a second. Okay, it's going to go back to Rizana to pick from our categories. Rizana, you want Republicans, wars, sports, physics, state capitals, or hyphenates? This is a weird board. State capitals. All right, that's where they started. All right, for 400. Oh, I got to switch my Coriat tracker over. I'm doing a little better this time, but still pretty bad. This state's capital is named after prospector Joe Juneau. That's extraordinarily easy, but it's a $400 question. Yeah, Closeted Commie. Normally I play like Elden Ring Night Rain and some actual like video games, but my usual streaming partner was busy tonight, so we're doing Jeopardy. Neil is in there fast with Alaska because I'm obsessed with trivia because of my brain being bad. For 800. Pig's Eye was first name of Minnesota capital until a church was built there, dedicated to him. Okay. I mean, that's fairly easy. Rizana, you live in Alaska? Josiah, I'm sorry, I've never heard of either Saint Apple or Pale. Saint Pale, I'm seeing Saint Apple, I'm seeing Pale, I'm seeing Paul, I'm seeing Saint Pale. Still not seeing the right answer here is a shame. That's cool, Rizana, I guess. All I know about Alaska is that vampires live there. 40 days out of the year. Okay. I'll let Josiah. Josiah, you can have it at St. Paul. Okay. 2 for 2 in this category. All right. State capitals for 1200. State capital that was originally called Michigan. I mean, I know what I'm going to say. And I'm going to feel dumb getting it right. I'm going to feel dumb getting it wrong. But I'm ringing in. Rizana says Lansing, which is certainly... Yeah, it's Lansing. They couldn't call it Michigan, Michigan, so they called it Lansing, I guess. I did have a moment where I was like, Detroit! And I was like, wait, hold on. Think. Remember, 3rd grade. That's like my favorite joke. How do you pronounce the capital of Kentucky? Louisville or Louisville? I pronounce it Frankfurt. Only state capital named for a foreign statesman, it's North Dakota's. It is weird that it is named right, because that guy was kind of a dick. Thing is, I'm the only one in my friend group that likes trivia, so... Ooh, Closeted Commie, and they're very fast with Bismarck. Very good. I don't know why North Dakota is named after Bismarck. I know there's, like... all the German immigrants hated Bismarck. Like, all, like, the people who, like... emigrated... all the Germans who emigrated to, like, the American Midwest did it to get away from Bismarck. I don't know why... Note to self. Find out why North Dakota's capital is named after the German prime minister, basically. All right, and state capitals for 5,000, or for 2,000. There were no Revolutionary War battles fought at this New Hampshire capital. What a weird clue. There were no Revolutionary... Oh. Rename the city of Bismarck in honor of German Chancellor Otto von Bismarck. They hope to attract German settlers to the area and German investment in the railroad. That's, again, that's really weird because the actual, like, if you look at, like I was saying, like, if you actually look at the history of German immigrants to America, it is mostly people, I guess they all got kicked out. Okay. They weren't running from Bismarck. That's incorrect. A lot of the people who moved to, a lot of the Germans who moved to the United States in the were coming out of the failed revolution of 1848. Capital of New Hampshire is... Oh, Concord, right? No, what? Concord. Okay, yeah, all right. I'm going to give myself that. Sorry, I got distracted. Gold! So I guess it would have been a generation later where they named it Bismarck. Still, good to know. All right. Let's see... Closeted Commie, as the last chat person to get a question first, you get to pick the next category. Do you want Republicans, wars, sports, physics, or hyphenates? It was a long walk for that pun, Josiah, is what I would say. But let's say wars 800. So I will say that you just get to pick the category, and then I run down the category because it would take too long to wait for everybody to select the whole thing. So we'll do wars starting at 400. I am sorry for curtailing your choice. With over 54 million fatalities, the bloodiest war in history. I mean, it's at the top of the category, so. Ooh, so Neil is saying the Great War. Josiah says World War II. Razan says World War II. It's gotta be World War II. It was World War II. Sorry, Neil. Wars for 800. Religious side with which Cardinal Richelieu allied France in the 30 Years' War. Oh, shit, I should know this. Religious side. I mean... France is... Oh, are we... I mean, France is hardcore Catholic. I mean, he's a cardinal. We got... Josiah is just straight up saying... So we have Vatican, Papal States, and the Pope in chat. Let's find out, because I'm going to not ring in on this one. The Protestants. Everybody wrong. Gonna go ahead and go over to the soundboard because we're all
Losers. Losers. Losers.
Trebek. That one's not even a Celebrity Jeopardy one. That's just Trebek being a jerk. All right, and that was it for... Oh, no, we got 1,200. Oh, I get to go back to the soundboard. I love it when I get to go to the soundboard twice in 2 questions. Give me that Daily Double sound. Yeah. I like how somebody was like, it needs to have one more do-do-do in there. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I can feel it. Himself wounded in Vietnam, he composed this ballad about the war. Okay, so unfortunately they're playing a song, and the song almost certainly won't load, and also if I click it, it will show what the answer is. So let's all just contemplate who it could be. Vietnam, ballads about Vietnam. No, I don't think anybody knows this one. I have no idea. I mean, it'd be easier if I could hear the song. Oh, it was Barry Sadler, The Green Berets. I do know The Green Berets was a song, but I definitely did not know Barry Sadler wrote it. So, well, that category fizzled out. So, rolling back to, let's see, who got World War II right first? Josiah did. So, Josiah, go ahead, pick from Republicans. The vast number of questions they went in the sports. Oh, Raizana got it there. Clutch. Damn. All right, Raizana. Republicans. 1 question from sports. Physics or hyphenates? I mean, Raizana, if you didn't hear me say the answer, then you still got it in before then. You're fine. Get it. Take it. Seize power. Be the change you want to see. Let's knock sports out. All right. 1 for sports. Kids coasting race named for the crates the racers are often made of. Well, that's extremely easy. Why didn't they do more questions? Because they were nerds. One of them, again, was the programmer of Defenders of Dynatron City. Let's see. We got Raizana saying soapbox. Hoonigan Neil saying soapbox race. Yeah, I think just soapbox. Soapbox derby is what they wanted, actually. So I did have that in mind, and then I said a lot of things. I got to mark the rest of these down as not done. I don't know if they let you go with just soapbox. They might have wanted derby there, since they didn't want the name of the race. Soapbox derby a sport? Yeah, I guess so. Raizana, I'm going to say you still have control of the board. Either way, so go ahead, take Republicans. Physics or hyphenates? I mean, they're like driving and stuff. They got a... Yeah. All right, physics for 400. Radiation used to sterilize food, strengthen plastics, and turn Dr. Banner into the Hulk. That's a fun question in 1985. All right. Closet Economy in there fast with Gamma. That is correct. For 800. Force that sends your clothes to the washing machine's perimeter. I gotta make sure that I'm not... Yeah, okay. That's okay. So, Neil said centrifugal. I don't think that's right, but I could be wrong. Does Neil have it? I would have said centrifugal. Is that wrong? Centrifugal. I was wrong. Neil was right. I gotta give myself the on that one. Centrifugal force. The force of a centrifuge. Half the atoms in a radioactive substance decay in the time period called this. Why don't I have a soundboard for the valve sound? Kneel in there fast with Half-Life. Half-Life, Half-Life, Half-Loaf. All right, 1600. What a physicist would call the base on which a teeter-totters or a seesaws. Yeah, that would be that, yes. Kneel in there very quickly with fulcrum, which I believe is the correct answer. Yes, fulcrum. And physics for 2000. In E equals mc squared, which I assume that's what that should be, the E is energy, the M mass, and the C is this squared. That's... Maybe that was harder in 1985. It hadn't been around as long. Raisana in there, ironically, very quickly. With the speed of light, yes. And then Alex said they did a good job in physics. Good job. All right. So that is Raisana. Hyphenates or Republicans? Ooh, what if we get a hyphenated Republican? Party. I mean, there's only 2 categories left, Raisana, so you can put it off for about 3 minutes or do it now. I can't wait to read a bunch of trivia questions about 1980s Republicans. This should be both fun and informative. Let's do it now. All right, Republicans for 400. In 84, Jesse Helms won costliest Senate race in the United States history in this state. Oh, fuck, where's Helms from? He's one of those Southern guys, right? Minnesota, New York. I could be completely wrong. Again, this is not a category I'm going to do well in. Waiting for anybody else to have an answer. No, Neil says California. No, not California. North Carolina. Okay, I was right that he was a Southern guy, but I would have said... All right, you got it, Rosanna. But I would have said South Carolina, so I still would have gotten it wrong. So I did not ring it on that. For 800. This Ohio senator became known as Mr. Republican, though it was his father who was president. I am going to ring... Am I going to ring in on this? No. So, Raisana, I was thinking about that. I'm trying to remember in that period, were they... It was Taft. Damn. Okay. I didn't ring in, but I was thinking it because Taft is famously like the big, the president from Ohio. I just forgot whether he was a Republican or a Democrat. He was a fat guy. If you want to read a great book about Taft, Doris Kearns Goodwin's The Bully Pulpit. Good book. Not as good as Team of Rivals, but good. Only 2 GOP presidents to serve 2 full terms, both West Point grads. Noting that this is from 1985. They were not. There was another one currently in office. So, I mean, I got one. I mean, Josiah, I think those are... Grant is who I was thinking about. Eisenhower does feel like a good answer. Josiah. Damn, very good, Josiah. Extremely good. Triple stumper. Amazing. All right, Republicans for 1600. Josiah, you didn't have to say that part. You didn't have to say that part. Yeah, I knew that from Wild Wild West movie. That sucks. Why would you... You sounded... Sucks. So proud of you. And you just... Fucking hell. One of 2 distinctions held by Jeanette Rankin. What? She was married to Jeanette Bass? One of 2 distinctions held by Jeanette Rankin. Neil, don't boo me. This is my stream. Fuck off. It was a simple little Rankin Bass joke. No one even heard it except you. Fuck off. Is probably my weakest point of knowledge of political history. Yeah. Inventor of the Rankin sieve and the animation director. Yeah. Raisana, first woman elected senator is Raisana's. First woman in Congress is what they said. Raisana, I'm going to assume you're right that she was elected senator. Cool. I did not ring in on that one because I had no fucking clue. All right, and for 2000. While some astronauts have already become senators, this state's Senator Garn will be first to turn astronaut. Ah, geez, he got bit. He's turning astronaut. Oh, look at him. He's freeze drying from the inside. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God, he's already... And look, his wife's turning into the goddamn astronaut's wife. Oh, God, she's Charlize Theron up all over the place. Josiah says Ohio. People are saying Garn, Hep Garn, Steve Garn. I have no idea if people actually know about Garn or not. I'm still just... Okay, actual answer. Utah was the answer. Nobody got it right. Josiah got it extra wrong. Okay. Hyphenates. Birth and burial place of England's most famous playwright. Make sure I actually have this right. Okay, yes. Okay, that would be the hyphenate. That would be the 3-word hyphenate. What is Christopher Marlowe's house? Now, Josiah, I do feel like it's cheating if you don't put the hyphens in. So I'm going to give it to Neil for Stratford upon Avon. Freaking English ass spelling. All right, for 800 in hyphenates. Corporate creators of Fred Flintstone and Yogi Bear. Yeah, I know. No one's angry right now, Josiah. No one's very angry. Oh. So, Neil, you spelled both names wrong. Josiah, you spelled one wrong. Raisana, I believe you spelled a name wrong. Closeted Commie, you said Hannah Montana, which is funny but incorrect. I think Barbera does have an E in it. Yeah, it does. I like how in Jeopardy you were not, in fact, criticized on spelling, but I have to spell this shit for work sometimes, so I get to take it out on other people. For 1200, Mad World star who says his hyphen comes from the gap between his teeth. Oh my God, who was... Oh, fuck. Who's the star of Mad World with a teeth? Ye old Paul F. Tompkins. John Candy. I've never actually seen Mad World. I've only seen the Simpsons parody. Go looking under the big W. That's all I know. We're going to just click it. It was Terry Thomas. Yeah, in a million, billion, bajillion years, I wasn't going to get that one right. All right. 1600 in hyphenate. Contemporary French flautist, who's recorded the record number of classical albums. I don't know. Alex, what the fuck? Why are you asking me? Rick Firestone, first time chat, says Emmanuel Pahood. Neil says Jethro Tull. I don't think either of those are. I mean, I'm excited, Rick Firestone, to see if you just came in from like way downtown and nailed this. This will be exciting for me because fuck if I know. Neil, your answer was funny. It was Jean-Pierre Rampal. So, Raizana, you do not get credit for saying Jean-Pierre. Later, I'll look up who Emmanuel Pahood is and either, I don't know how I'll feel about it. Company that makes Drano, Windex, Ban, Clairol, Bufferin, and Excedrin. Oh, what? I have, Mr. Clean. Mr. Clean. Okay, I think Josiah might actually be right. I was trying to think of GlaxoSmithKline, but I think it might be Josiah's answer. Let's find out. I'm not going to ring in. We were all wrong. It was Bristol Myers. It was, of course, Bristol Myers. And since everybody got it wrong, we're just going to go ahead. Well, it's Bufferin because it's buffered aspirin. Just going to go ahead and just listen to a few times Alex Trebek calling us all.
Losers, 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 losers.
It's fun. We have fun. Okay, that's Double Jeopardy. My Coriat in this one was 20,600, which was mildly better than last time. That's at least enough to like get on the show, maybe. All right, it is time for Final Jeopardy. Final Jeopardy is Kingdoms. Okay, a reminder how this works. I will click the button to reveal the question. I will read the question. I will play the song. Do not enter your answer until the song is finished. Here we go. Final Jeopardy is Kingdoms. Possessing the northernmost island in the world makes this kingdom the world's northernmost. Okay, I'm not looking at chat. I'm going to wait. I'm going to peripherally see if chat moves to get some answers, and then I will say my answer. Give me another couple seconds. All right, I am going to say, what is Norway? Fuck! Raizana got it right. Good job, Raizana. A lot of people said Norway. But it was, in fact, Denmark, where there's nothing wrong at all, baby. Bruce is our new champion. Matt, bet everything. Got a Vitamaster fitness system. Rick? Oh, Rick goes home with a Broyhill sofa and his company hair accessories. Matt, the champion, did say Sweden and then presumably tried to cross it out. You can't be too mad at Matt. That's Matt Hubbard. Apparently he programmed the NES game Defenders of Dino City. So, I think the island is Greenland, by the way. Yeah, that tracks. Arizona, that tracks. All right, everybody. That'll be it for Jerkpardy. Thank you for hanging out and doing the silly trivia questions with me tonight. Had a good time. I will be back tomorrow night, hopefully playing some Elden Ring Night Rain with my friends Sean and Dez. I do these Jerkpardy streams basically as a backup when I can't do other streams with people. Normally it's actual video games. Good night, everybody. And God bless. Bless your hearts. Each and every one of you. Bless your hearts.